For over a year now, I've been making videos for you with about the same theme, that the Boise housing market is a white-hot seller's market. It's a madhouse, it's a feeding frenzy, and it was. But finally, now I can say to you, welcome to the Boise buyer's market. What's up, everybody? This is Shawn Tomich with the Living in Boise group, and if this is your first time to the channel, then make sure and subscribe below and tap that notification bell so that you can stay up to date with everything there is to know about moving to Boise in the Treasure Valley. Now, before I get started into today's video, I wanted to let you know that I did upload 2 videos for you this week. One of those is the bonus video for my 1,000 subscribers and getting to 1,000 subscribers. And that is a video of me and Charlie going backpacking in Garden Valley, me and Charlie Brown, my chocolate lab, going backpacking in Garden Valley. So if that is something that interests you, please go and also check out that video and give that one a like as well as this one. So yes, rates are up, but home values are down. And I'm extremely thankful to all of you that called me last week and had Zoom calls with me that were interested and are still interested in moving to the Boise Valley. If you're interested in moving to Boise in the Treasure Valley, please call me, email me, text me, days, nights, weekends. Myself, my team, we've got your back when it comes to moving to Boise and the Treasure Valley. How many times can I say that? So welcome to the Boise buyer's market. It has literally been years since I've been wanting to say that. And it's been about 5 years since we've been able to get sellers to pay for closing costs, get sellers to accept contracts well below asking price, but that's exactly what we're doing right now. Now, for the doom and gloomers out there that think that the Boise market's in the toilet, again, it's not. This is a good thing. This is a positive thing. We want our market to balance out. We want to be able to buy and sell homes in a more normal, traditional way because it's a much better process for everybody involved. So what this means to you as buyers, which is about probably 99% of you watching my channel right now, is this puts you back in the position of power in the transaction, which is where you want to be as a buyer. Just even 6 months ago, we were still making offers and competing against multiple offers and having to go over asking price, but that's not the current situation. Now, home values peaked in Boise in June at just under $603,000. And since then, like I've been talking to you about, the values have been softening and coming down. And in August, they dropped to $565,000. That was the median in Ada County or Boise, which was about a 6% decrease in value. And then the latest numbers I'm finding right now about where we're currently hovering is that median price should drop to about $540,000, which is another couple percentage points drop, which overall, since the lovely feds have raised our rates and done what they've done, we've had decrease in values of about 10%. Which is a really big savings. At the median price right now, you're saving about $50,000 to $60,000 on what you would have paid on a home 3-6 months ago. Now, another benefit that our buyers can look for right now is that when our market is hot and aggressive like it was, a lot of times buyers are electing to, or they're being required to, waive the professional inspection from being done. Now, when I start working with you as a client or customer, I let you know right up front that professional inspection, it's about a $400 to $500 upfront out-of-pocket cost to you. It's optional, it's not required. You don't have to have a professional inspection done. But I also will let you know that I personally wouldn't buy a home without having a professional inspection done. Being in the remodel and real estate industry for over the last 15 years, I've seen quite a lot of things on resale homes and even brand new homes. The mistakes that I've seen builders make when putting together a brand new home, it's honestly quite astonishing. So that is the reason that I always recommend having a professional inspection done when we can get one done. You'd be surprised at the peace of mind that you're going to gain knowing that a professional inspector was on his hands and knees crawling through the crawl space of that home, going up in the attic, every square inch of the attic, looking underneath the dishwasher, underneath the fridge, underneath all of these places where there could be water intrusions. The peace of mind that you will get knowing and getting a 15-page report on every aspect of that home is huge. The other thing it does is that when that inspection comes back, and if we find that the home you're looking to buy or wanting to own is a lemon and has a cracked foundation, well, that inspection and that inspection contingency that we write in on your agreement is what's going to allow us to be able to back out of that transaction and be able to get you your earnest money back so that you're not losing anything in that transaction. So an inspection's a really important part of this process. And now that we've shifted back into a buyer's market, you can expect to be able to request and require an inspection be done, and you're not going to usually have any problems being able to still get approved, or get your paperwork accepted on that home. Now, like I've been saying about rate, saying that the interest rates are high right now is actually a huge misconception. The rate is higher than it was at the historically low interest rates that are not the norm. So if you took advantage of the historically low interest rates and you were able to purchase during that time, well, congratulations. I assure you, you might not want to refinance for a while. Now, the higher rates, they're not here to stay, but if you're gonna play the waiting game and wait for the rates to come back down into the 4%, I would highly recommend against doing that and waiting, because you might be waiting for an awful, awful long time while everyone else around you is still buying and selling real estate. And everyone that is renting right now, you've got to remember, and I hate saying this, I'm not trying to say this to you like I'm demeaning you or anything like that, because I'm not. But if you're renting right now, you're paying 100% rate. You're paying 100% interest rate. So taking a 94% reduction in rate to pay a 6% interest rate and become a homeowner is a very, very smart decision. Now, my team and I, we're smart. Trust me, we're smart. We're smart.
We are smart and
when obstacles like this come up, we find the opportunities to put transactions together and help people get into homes. So what we're doing right now, because of what's going on and because homes are sitting on the market about 30, sometimes 60 days and dropping prices, is when we go and make that offer and submit your paperwork for you, we're gonna ask the sellers to contribute $5,000, $10,000, maybe even up to $15,000 towards your closing costs and your interest rate. That's right. What we can actually do is we can take the seller's money and we can buy your interest rate down in this transaction so that you can still get into this home in the 5s and even in the 4s. What does that mean as a buyer? Well, that means that all of a sudden that higher interest rate is completely irrelevant. I just erased that. So we can still get you a good rate and get you in now while the homes are reduced in price and while you're not having to compete against a million offers. Again, welcome to the Boise buyer's market. So this is my word of caution for those of you that are trying to time the market. And I've spoken about this before. These fluctuations in our market, they don't happen often and they usually don't last very long. So by the time, if you're trying to wait for this crash that in my opinion isn't gonna happen, and you wait and wait and wait, and then all of a sudden you hear the Boise market is back up and running, well, you're right back into competing against multiple offers, having to pay over asking price, and not being able to get sellers to contribute towards your closing costs and your rate buy down. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing that I told all of my customers and clients 3 and 4 years ago that didn't get into the market because they were waiting for the crash then.
And the whole housing market is about to collapse?
Is that, like I said, this crash probably isn't gonna happen that you're waiting for. The crash that happened 15 years ago in this huge recession was caused from multiple factors and multiple variables that just aren't at all even in play today. The biggest factor of all of this is lenders were just opened wide up with no regulation at all, really, and allowed to pretty much give anybody a loan.
Take it all.
And so people were put into loans and buying homes that they never qualified for, that they could never afford the payment, and a lot of them didn't even have jobs.
You trust me? I do.
I mean, you could just state your income, you could state you had a job, as long as you had a credit score and could fog a mirror, you could buy a home. And what that did was that caused the recession when the foreclosure market came in, because all of a sudden 2 years later and 3 years later, nobody could afford these homes anymore. Now, because of all of that, lending practices completely changed. And the buyer that's been buying for the last 10 years is completely different than the buyer that caused the recession. The buyer now that's been buying over the last 10 years is very well qualified, has money in the bank, has good jobs, and is usually putting money down to buy that home. The other reason that this crash isn't going to happen and that this foreclosure market's not going to happen is because anybody that bought in the last 10 years also has equity, like a lot of equity. And when you have a lot of equity in your home and you get into a time of need, you sell your home and cash out. You don't let the bank take your home. And the banks usually don't try to take your home if you have equity in it. So again, my opinion is this market's not going to crash, so don't try to time the market. Don't try to wait for rates to come down or keep waiting for values to come down, because again, they're really only coming down about 3% a month, and they're only going to come down so far before they kind of sit stagnant, because values are only going to come down so far. There was only so much inflation in those values, and it's pretty much been eaten up already by now. So yes, values are going to come down a little bit still. Rates will probably come down a little bit, more than likely. They might even go up before they come down. So bottom line is, don't wait. This is a buyer's market. The time is now, so it's time to take action. So if you're a buyer and you're serious about owning a home here in the Boise and the Treasure Valley, then all you got to do is call me, email me, text me, days, nights, weekends. Myself and my team, we've got your back when it comes to moving to Boise and the Treasure Valley. We'll see you next time.